Welcome to Game Spoils at a Glance. New show, new channel. This is a first look series. I played about an hour of PaPo Yo, and we will be taking a look at some of that footage, and I'll let you know what I thought of the game. We're going to be starting with the opening. This quote probably spoils the plot, actually. Not that it's particularly hard to figure it out, or at least get some hints at it, but it's still presented really intriguingly. You got this kid stuck in the closet, and there's the monster. Not sure what it's saying, but it's looking for him. And I think it's right about here that he cracks and starts seeing giant shining spirals. I'm not sure. I just noticed that his doll disappears right there. His little robot thing. Huh. But I guess the question is, what is PaPo Yo? And what it is a third-person puzzle platforming game. The first part of it is driven by trying to follow her. This girl. This girl who's using wall hacks. And it's so irritating. But yeah, you wander around, you can pick up this ball. I was kind of curious. I saw it laying here. I was just wondering if it had the engine was using physics, and well, sort of. You can interact with it, but you can't just like run up and kick it. You can do that though, and that's kind of fun. I was also curious as to what the heck this thing was. A large amount of this game is just finding the bright white symbols and interacting with them. But it's what they do to the world, which you're about to see here. It's pulling this out causes that. The whole game is about this kind of just manipulating your environment using the chalk symbols, and it's handled really well. I thought it was pretty neat. They also have this. This is your control instructions / hints. So if you get stuck, you look for one of these boxes. I find it entertaining that you just stick it on your head. Generally, you don't need these. The concepts of the game are introduced really quite well. But you can run around with a box on your head. That's always entertaining. I also noticed that if you look inside the box, yep, right here, you can see the tutorial images just painted in there. It's great. Over here, I'm just showing off some more of the environment manipulation. If you look on top there, there's this doll thing. I found about 5 of those. I don't know what they are yet, because I can't do anything with them. This is about where the game starts to really just get like, wow. I mean, look at that. That is just... I love that. The scope of what you can manipulate and so on just keeps increasing. Like here. Like, there she is again. She's going to cheat. Get back here. Now, the game does a really good job of directing you without text dumping. Like right there, it just gave you a little thing to say, hey, look at this box, you can interact with it. And there's these chalk drawings on the floor. So I was like, okay, so I'll pick these up, and I'll just put them in the boxes. Maybe it's like switches, so if I put them all in there, something will happen. And right there, I saw that drop. And then I noticed this. Yes. The boxes are houses that you're picking up and moving around in the background. This is great. If you look over to the side there, you can see another one of those dolls. I still don't know what those are. I've been trying to figure that out, and I haven't run into that. I'm only about an hour into this game. But, yeah, I mean, this is just neat. And these mechanics repeat themselves as the game goes. I mean, you can put these anywhere you want. Here's another interesting bit. these little sheds, houses. They sprout legs and run around. I found this just really, really funny. I mean, you can usually tell where things are going to happen because of the chalk outlines. The white ones are things you can interact with. The dark ones are things you can't use yet. And the game's really consistent about that, which is great. This whole area is about trying to rearrange these houses so that you can get to that timed door over there. But you can't do it just by running. Now, here we finally corner the girl. And here is where the story kind of takes a twist, because you start getting these. The atmosphere here is just... they nailed it. The frozen rain, the car just stuck. The chalk outline. They always use these bright chalk outlines to guide the player. It's great. There's the kid, and there's a guy. I have no idea what's going on with these yet. However, you come back to this. Cursed, apparently. I have no idea what language they're speaking. But now we're introduced to another mechanic. The introduction pacing on those is actually pretty good. Now, this is, I think it's Lua. I don't know what the kid's name is. Lua names him a couple of times, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, there it is. Quico. Now, Luo does two things. The first thing is right there. He acts like a double jump. You can see it in there. And if you couldn't pick it up from that, this box tells you with more detail. And I agree, he is an awesome robot. But the thing is, in the little animation that played, it makes it look like a double jump. It's more of a long jump, but it's still pretty awesome. So you don't get any real height gain, but you do get a lot more distance, like that. And in a minute here, after this jumping puzzle, we'll be introduced to the other thing that Lua can do. And that is operate these. Which, I think that thing at the start of the game, the circle on the thing, might be... Yeah, it is one of those. I'll have to maybe go back there at some point. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, you use him as like a remote button pusher. And I'm sure that box just tells you more about, you know, using him to operate those, but seriously. I already got that figured out. I didn't even bother to look at that one. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed with this game so far. The pacing's just been really, really well done. And this scene, this I just had to put in, because remember the little houses? Here's the granddaddy. The best part is the little ones run away. They're just like, oh no, 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 we're even. The scene also illustrates the use of music really well, because the timing has been really good on the music. I mean, it picks up right when you pull the switch, and it will just, like, drop off. And, yeah, it's just really well done. Everything's just really well put together. Now here's where we're introduced to yet another mechanic. here is where we first see the monster. Outside of the opening. They present him very intimidating at first. I mean, he's big, he's stompy. You just get the silhouette. It's great. And then you see him here in all his glory. Just a second. There we go. He goes into his hut. Anyway, we need to track him down. And once you do, he's not quite as scary. He's just asleep and kind of fidgety. The monster offers a few additional gameplay things, and they're introduced really well. Like right here, they're telling you can use him as a springboard, which seems like a really bad idea when it's like, I just found a random monster sleeping at the bottom of this thing. I'm going to bounce on its gut. This is a good plan. I was a little hesitant to, do that, but I figured, well, the game's supposed to. I mean, he kind of wakes up. He's just like, whatever. I want to sleep. Leap. There's some great wall art in some places in this game. I don't know what it means exactly. I just love this. This is so well done. Now we're introduced to the coconuts here. The monster seems to really love coconuts. He'll eat them if they come anywhere near him, and he'll chase them around. Which is good, because the next chunk of the game involves leading the monster around. I wasn't sure if he'd eat it out of my hands or, eat me, and that's me pushing the wrong button. Woohoo. So, yep, he just eats it, and he's like, ooh, I want it. Now look at him, his tongue's hanging out. It's great. He's like, oh, gimme. I put it down here, and yep. That's the weirdest bridge. Here's the other thing that the monster seems to be obsessed with, and that is these frogs. At first, he can't actually reach the frogs, and he's just obsessed with trying to get to them. So, there's a few puzzles where, like this one, you have to get to the frogs, and you have to get rid of them. And you get rid of them by throwing them against the wall and getting achievements. Chief. Have to get rid of all of them. Once you get rid of them, he'll just go take a nap. Like a good monster should. That's me missing my jump. Woo. I'll just get rid of these guys. There's one. There should be one more. Go away, frogs. Go away. They're the really brightly colored ones. They're probably, like, really, really toxic. Witcher Way is obsessed with trying to eat them. I kind of do, but yeah. As we get more world manipulation, he's just gonna go sleep. At this point, you've been helping the monster out, and he's been helping you out. Kind of unintentionally, but still. And I was growing kind of fond of him. He's like your buddy. He's big and slow and friendly. He just wants coconuts. He's actually kind of cute in his own way. It's kind of weird. But that is until here. There's a reason why he shouldn't be allowed to get to the frogs. Yeah. This is an oh crap moment. I was like, oh god. This is the first time that the game's really done anything like this, where you're actively being attacked. up until this point, it's all been just puzzles and peaceful and wonder, and then this happens. It's not too hard, really. I mean, you just have to lure him into the boxes and make a bridge, like these things. But the timing, and it's just like, this is just like an old neat moment. Especially since, like, right about this point, I was wondering, wonder what would happen if you could actually get to the frogs, and then he eats one, and it's... it was just really well timed. Alright, we'll just catch him here. I don't show the whole fight. It should cut in a minute. Once you've collected a bunch of the boxes... Yeah, there we go. You'll get this bridge. And you can go up here, and you can find... I'm not quite sure whether there is a floating piece of land, but there's a blue nut thing on it. Here, have it. Eat it. Oh. I love how he just vomits up the frog. I don't know what happened to his shirt. It's not like he did anything to lose it. Where's the shoe, for that matter? Huh. Do not enter the circle. I bet you we have to enter the circle. It's almost guaranteed. I mean, come on. Jumping into random chalk circles has worked so far. And now we have another one of these. And this one has me just really intrigued. See, the car is further along. It's still raining. But there's this. The driver of the car is now in front, and his shadow is the monster, and you know that there's just something really bad that happened. And I've got some ideas, but I don't know for sure, and I want to see what happened. This game has been surprising in a lot of ways. This kid has seen something. Something that he doesn't want to remember. I'm going to be finishing this one. This is surprisingly good. It's not your fault.
Sa, não é?
Leona, fasolaraya. Achetano.
Asu, oma?
Acevo, fasora su papo.
Ue? Sa ue ona isedana.
Amaye etao chaman. Lea ite darahu.
I am really impressed with this game. It's available on Steam. If you're intrigued as much by this as I am, I recommend that you check it out. Until next time, thank you for watching.